Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Anything But Family podcast, where I, Aaron Miller, sit down with my older sister, Colleen Edge, and we talk about just about anything but family. Colleen, how's everything going?
I'm doing well. I don't feel very well tonight, so hopefully I can keep up the lightheartedness that we have planned for tonight.
Sure, absolutely.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I um got a lot of work done that I wanted to get done today. I rewired a trailer. I loaded up my SUV to take into the mechanics shop on Thursday. Um, yeah, pretty good day. Pretty good day.
And we played pickleball.
We played pickleball. We did. Seems to be an ongoing thing that we do. And I'm happy about that because, I said it the last time. I always feel better when I get out and do stuff.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think being the eternal cheerleader that I am, I just want to point out again, like, I am so glad that we're doing this and spending more time together, talking more. Like, I really do feel like my quality of life has improved since we have been so intentional at just navigating adult relationships.
There's something to be said for that, I think. Um, intentional. Be intentional with your relationships. Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like not getting heavy here, but I just feel like it's something that we aren't taught, like we aren't taught how to navigate healthy relationships as adults, family or otherwise. And I don't know. I feel like that you and I have done such a good job. Like I'm really proud of the relationship that we have because we have been so intentional. So I just wanted to give you a little plug there. I just think you're great.
Well, I think you're pretty great too. I think there's something to
Thank
be
you.
said for what you said also about we're not, nobody teaches you how to do this. I I don't know. Reminds me of that old country music song, "Life's a Dance, You Learn as You Go." Um,
Totally.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I would rather have someone intentionally teach me how to do that stuff or just enjoy the dance and learn about it as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you and I had some deep conversation earlier, and it's just the discovery of, life and how to live life and the meaning of life and all the depth, like all the deep things. But we kind of agreed that, we're gonna go lighthearted tonight. So
Absolutely.
I don't want to bog us down. I feel like our last one we talked some depth. We've got some other deep things kind of swirling around for later, but uh tonight I think we wanted it to be like lighthearted and fun and funny. So I'm kind of excited about this. I feel like that you and I, as we have gotten older, um, are not so much our paths have converged, but our personalities and our like just who we are. We just keep finding more and more similarities of how we do things, of how we think, things that we say. I know that there have been so many sayings of yours, like we both really enjoy quotes and, just kind of like volleying things back and forth between us. So I'm kind of excited to talk about tonight or what we've got to
Um,
talk about tonight.
Looking forward to it also. And you're kind of taking the lead on this one. So I will let you take the lead on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things, we kind of talked earlier about how there's no manual, right? Like none of us grow up with this, like, okay, this is how you're going to be an adult. So, a lot of the things we kind of have to figure out on our own, and kind of figure out who we are. And, one of the things that I firmly believe is we're all weird, all of us.
Sure.
Every single one of us is weird. Even the most normal people have their like isms, right? So I think we want to talk about some of our isms tonight, and whether that is behavioral, like legit isms. I feel like isms and tisms are kind of like buzzwords right now, but I do think that it really helps like kind of define, we're all weird, but what are our oddities? Like, what are some things that, we do, or just things that like help keep us sane, or irrational irritants, I guess.
That's fair.
So
So
I'll give you
before
an
we get
example.
Yeah, sure. Before we get started on this, let's define our terms here. If we're going to talk about these isms, you've given me some examples, I think, but what is an ism?
So I think, mental health has been real buzzy, which I love. Like, mental health is a huge soapbox for me. Like, I think, re- really and truly, I think all of the world's problems could be solved if we put more emphasis in mental health care. So not to take away from, like the true, like autism spectrum, and, nothing like that. So I just want to be very clear on when I say like isms and tisms, like it's no disrespect whatsoever. But I think as we get older and we are, the world is learning more about people, I think that mental health wasn't really a big thing when we were younger. And now it's becoming more of like a broad discussion, which is fantastic. But all of that to say, the things that made us weird when we were kids, maybe there was more to that. I'll give
Sure.
you a great example. So, for me, and our mom had always called it my like princess and the pea ism. She didn't say ism, but whatever it was like a princess and the pea thing for me. And what that was like, I have like a hair phobia. Okay. So, not the hair on my head. The hair on my head is fine, but I have this, and I cannot imagine that I'm the only person in the world like this. I have this weird, just like sensation, this, I don't even know what to call it, but if I have a hair on me, I can feel it. Doesn't matter where it is, doesn't matter at all. It's like it could be the back of my shirt, it could be the leg of my pants. If I feel a hair touching me other than the hair on my head, it's all I can think about. It's like, if I cannot attack this hair and get it off of me, same thing if I'm like sleeping and I have a blanket and I can see a hair, it's like, oh my gosh, which is wild because I live with a border collie.
Sure,
So
sure, sure. I'm sure that's a fun
lots of hair.
place to be.
Right. So it's like if I can feel, and it's like such minute, inconsequential. It's like things that I feel like normal people would never give a thought. But it's like if I have, for example, we were laying in bed the other night, okay, and the fan was
Not
on, and I
not
could,
we. We weren't laying in bed.
yes, not you and I, not you and I. I, let's say I was laying in bed, right? And the fan was on, and it was kind of like high, it was really hot, so we had the fan on high, and I could feel these little tiny baby hairs like moving in the fan. I about had a meltdown. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like it is such a like genuine sensation, right?" So that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like our things that just are preoccupation, or yeah, preoccupations, or things that just kind of make us like the weirdness of us. Another quick example is my best friend and I were in Meyer the other day, and I always look when I'm at Meyer. So Meyer has, I carry a 40-ounce cup with me everywhere. Okay. So, and it's like the one fad that I have like stuck to, right? And I don't care about Stanley, the name. I just like the size of the cup. Okay. It is perfect for me. So every time I go to Meyer, They are the only store who carries a specific water drop in that I like. And I wish I had one here with me. But they're like the Hawaiian Punch Purple. Okay. You can get them in a multi-pack, a 30 pack. It's like seven of the purple. I can't math in my head right now. 20 of the red, which is garbage, and like seven of whatever that works out to be, like seven of the blue. The blue is fine. The purple is superior. I have drunk every day
Right.
for like the past 2 years. I have drank the same thing. I drink the same purple water drop in, one water drop in to a 40 ounce. It's perfect. I went to Meijer the other day and they didn't have it. Not only did they not have it, they weren't out. It was not stocked on the shelf. There was no label. There is no more drink at Meijer. And I almost started crying. My best friend was looking at me like, what do I do? And she's like going into um, fix it mode. She's like, well, you could look on Amazon. You could look at other stores. And I'm like, I don't think you understand. Last time they were 10 for 10, I bought 30 boxes of them. Like, I this is my medicine box, but I have a box this size that is just always stocked with them because I am obsessed. It's the only thing, like, it's the one constant in my life. I had like a panic attack. And I'm like, oh my gosh. My friend was like, well, just buy the multi pack. I'm like, no, the red is garbage. The blue is fine, but I need the purple. And it has like thrown me off.
I
So
get it. I get it.
those are the things, like the oddities. Like, give me something. What is something of yours? Make me feel a little bit better about myself.
So I know for me, and maybe this is the right line of thought, maybe it's not. I hate noises. Is that
Uh, is specific. No, it is. Yes,
okay?
because I share the same one. Tell me, tell me about your isms with the noise because I share this and I want to know, do we have the same noise aversions?
We might. So for me, the big example that stands out to me, actually, so both of my previous professional jobs have had noises that ticked this box for me. The first place I had a air handler unit for the HVAC system, and it didn't run all the time, but it would kick on. And so I had a decibel meter, and it was like the same noise as having like a running automobile in my classroom. And I couldn't handle that. Like, I, as humans, we are the animal that can manipulate our environment better than any other animal. Um, so I like figured out there's a time off switch for it. So I would just like, whenever it kicked on, I would just go back and kick it off. And I hated that. The next job that I had, we had an air compressor in there that powered like all of the airdrops in the shop. Yeah, but it didn't run constantly. So it'd get up to pressure, and then all of the shop, you have the death by 1,000 cuts. Any small leaks that were in that system, it would get down below the kick on pressure, and it would kick it back on, and you'd hear it clear through the building. And I couldn't handle it. Yeah, so noise is one of those for me. Am I in the right ballpark with this stuff?
100%. And it's so funny that you say that because same. But I feel like that I'm able to like filter out a lot of um, like ancillary sounds. So, growing up on a farm, like, I don't really think about like, oh, the feed is being ground. Like I don't think of like stuff like that. Like that stuff doesn't bother me. Like it is
Noise
it's
where you need to have noise.
sure. You know where we don't need noise? And I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. If anyone is listening, all three people who listen to this podcast right now, okay, hear
You.
me when I tell you, hear me when I tell you this. This might be like a controversial thing because I feel like half of the population does this, and I cannot hang. And I know it's a me problem, as you said, and I hope that this takes off because it's one of my favorite lines from you. And I use it all the time. That sounds like an issue, not an ish me. I tell people that all the time, right? Like, it's one of my favorite things that you say. I love it. So I fully acknowledge that this is an ish me. However, everyone grab your cell phone right now. Go ahead and turn off the sound that makes the tick, 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 tick when you're typing. Nobody wants to hear that. I was at the doctor's office a couple weeks ago and there was a man sitting across the room from me, and you can't say anything, but if looks could kill, I was like staring this man down. He never made eye contact, but boy, if he did, he'd have been like, he'd have just handed me his phone and been like, either you keep this until it's my turn, or ma'am, can you tell me how to turn this off? It's like, nobody needs that. Nobody needs to know or hear. You're looking at your phone. You see the HAPPEN or whatever, however you text, however you type. No one, 0% of the population, nobody needs to hear when you're typing. No one. Fight me on this.
I'm not going to fight you on it. I do feel like I know where it comes from. I and I could be mistaken. My guess is this is kind of a vestigial uh, remnant from the old like wall phones when you'd push the buttons and
Absolutely not.
have
Nope.
you don't
Don't
think so?
buy
You
it.
don't think
Don't buy it. Don't buy
I'm
it.
not sa- I'm not saying it's something that we should have in the modern iteration of the telephone. I'm just saying I feel like that can trace its lineage back to.
Nope.
You don't
Don't
think
agree.
so?
Don't agree. There are 0% of the population who is like, you know what? I am so nostalgically connected to an old phone that I need to feel with my thumbs pushing the buttons. Nobody.
I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that
It's
that's
wrong.
probably sure. I'll agree with you that it is uh, not proper for polite
I think what
society.
you mean to say is
Uh,
annoying.
sure, I'll agree that it's annoying. I'm just saying that's probably where that comes from is the old phones. That's why that might be a thing. I'm with you. I don't like that noise. You can see I'm wearing noise canceling headphones. I have my studio here in our basement, and
And all your friends
the
behind you.
yeah, all of my friends, those they didn't hang themselves up there. But yeah, I am in my basement and I have the air conditioner, the air handler for the house is down here in the basement too. And I hate that noise. So good investment because I hate uh, surprise noises, I guess.
I I know where my sound aversions come from. Okay, so when I tell me if this was your experience with our dad. And not talking about family, talking about where things come from for me. Okay, so our dad had some major sound aversions. Oh, I could not pour water in a cup. If you put water, if you were pouring something, be it from a faucet, a pitcher, a container, whatever, you had to tip it so that you could not hear the water or the liquid going
Fair.
into the vessel. So it is stuff like that. It is like residual. irritants. It's almost to the point now that I'm like, gotta keep it real for our dad. You know, it's like, well, or food sounds. Oh my gosh, chewing. There is not a world in my world that it's okay to chew with your mouth open. 0% of the time.
Sure, sure.
Zero. Like, you know, you eat chips, you chew with your mouth closed, they're still loud. It that doesn't bother me. I will literally look at people across the room. If I am in a shared room and I hear food noises, I am beelining my eyeballs to be like, I hear your food. Chewing with your mouth open. If you're chewing with your mouth closed, no harm, no foul.
Sure.
You're doing your part.
Yeah,
Chew with your
I
mouth
think
open. There should be a room. There should be a cafeteria on every 5 blocks that the mouth open chewers can go to have lunch because nobody hears mouth noises and they're like, oh, that is so comforting. No, chew with your mouth closed.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think that kind of goes with a lot of stuff from our polite society. You do whatever you want, but don't, you know, I'm no Gadsden flag fanboy by
You're
any
no
stretch
Miss
of the
Manners.
imagination. Yeah, but don't tread on me. Don't, you know, chew with
Don't
your mouth
infringe
closed.
on my ears.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, and it's these like really in the scheme of things inconsequential, right? Like I don't think, and I feel like I say this every time because it really is one of your like best lines. It's like everybody's the star of their own show, everybody's the main character. So it is not lost on me that no one owes me to turn off their phone sounds. No one owes me to chew with their mouth closed. I do feel like you owe it to society, though. It is a, it's like, I don't know, common sense. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's like, we just don't do those things.
Sure.
Like,
We shut up.
society, like in the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not chew with their mouth open.
That would have to be the 11th, or you'd have to get rid of one of the other thou shalt
What can we
nots.
get rid of? Because thou shalt not chew with your mouth open really should be in the top 10. Honor thy mother and father, don't chew with your mouth open. Like, I, I feel like that was taught to me in Sunday school. Like, I just struggle with stuff like that. Stuff, I live life, okay? So it's the same, like, if I cut somebody off in traffic, right? Like, I'm like, oh, sorry, 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 sorry. Like, I'll even be like, sorry, It's like, that's just what you do. Like, that's just polite society. I expect that everyone shows up every day and they're like, there's an arrow in a parking lot. You better follow that arrow.
Sure,
Don't be coming.
sure.
Don't be coming. I got into a an altercation over this one time. I frequented a place like an establishment that was in like a strip mall. That sounds seedy. I used to go tanning, okay? So I would go a couple times a week, a few times a week, whatever. The parking lot, you pulled in the parking lot and there was a clear arrow that says one way. So, the Barney Fife in me is like, well, if anybody's not following that arrow and I'm in the parking lot, it's my job. It is my responsibility to society to make sure that these people know that they're going the wrong way. So I would literally be like, wrong way. You're going the wrong way, right? I had a man jump out of his car and like yell at me, got back in his car, was like hitting the side of his car, like very aggressive. And I just wanted to be like, sir, If you'd have
You're
just
in the
gone the
yeah,
if you'd have just gone the right way,
yeah,
none of this would
you're in the
have
wrong.
happened. When in reality, it's like, Colleen, mind your business.
Do you have the same enthusiasm about shopping carts?
100%. It is the oh, you had to have heard this. What is the like, there's like Murphy's Law. There's, all these different like laws that have come up throughout history. And there is some study, it's escaping me. If anybody out there's listening and you know the name of this law or this like phenomena, like leave it in the comments because there is this thought or whatever of it's like the litmus test on if you're a good person or not. Now, I will say this does not, if you are someone who is physically limited or driving, a grocery jazzy, okay. But there is no reason that people shouldn't return their shopping cart. The litmus test or whatever that I was talking about is it's like nothing bad's going to happen if you don't return it. No, there is no shopping cart police. Although I have tried to volunteer for that before and nobody cares. There's no like repercussion for not putting your cart back, but it also doesn't make you like, there can be really crappy people who also happen to just return their carts. But I see you looking it up. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's called the shopping cart theory, and
Okay.
according to this, the shopping cart is the ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing.
There you go.
Yeah. Also, you talked about shopping cart police. Shout out to the YouTube channel, the Cart Narcs. You should look that up. Oh, one of my guilty pleasures. My wife hooked me up with that.
So good. So good.
I
It's
love it.
like it is just yeah, I hate to admit because the whole we listen and we don't judge. Like I get that. I
Oh,
try
I
to
judge those
see
people.
I know. It's like what you are at any given moment, even the far out nosebleed parking spots. You've got to be, I'm terrible at math and distance, so I don't know how far the distance would be. You've got to be within 100 steps to a grocery cart corral.
And here's
Like
the great thing about it. You can park wherever you want to. So just park close to the cart returns.
for real.
And
Like
I try to do that anyhow. It's a good landmark for where your vehicle is.
fun fact, my one of my significant others refuses to park near cart corral. Refuses. It's the death of the door dings. Like he is just insistent, and he will get like this would be one of his isms where it's like we don't park near the cart corral. We don't. And so I would be lying if I'd said that like part of me every time I go to the store, I'm like I'm by myself. I can park by the cart corral.
Sure. I tell you who I think's got it right is Aldi.
For real.
Bring it, let capitalism solve that problem.
For real.
If people don't if people if it's worth 25 cents to you to take your cart back, get a little, you get a little something for it. And if it's not, it will be worth it to somebody else.
For real.
I I feel like that flies in the face of shopping cart theory, though. I think the non monetarily motivated shopping cart theory. I think that's
Yeah,
a
you're doing
good
the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
sure. And shouldn't we all aspire to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do?
I have lived it's so funny. I don't know if my roommate from totally just popped back into my head. My roommate from college and we used to, I went to college 20 plus years ago. Above our door in our apartment, we had printed out, back when you printed out banners, it wasn't on like the reel of paper, but we had printed out this and like colored it and everything. And above our door, before we saw it, before we left our apartment every time, it said, do the right thing. We rarely did the right thing. Like we were pretty mischievous, but at least we had the forethought to like walk out the door and be like, okay, do the right thing, just I feel like there are just it's decorum, right? It's like these are just things that we do. Another one is how do you feel about driving in the right hand lane if it's a two-lane road or like a highway? So both directions or both lanes going the same direction. There's an outside lane that's the left or right lane. There's an inside lane that's the left lane. How do you feel about driving in those lanes?
Slower traffic's supposed to keep right.
Do you pass on the right?
Ideally, no, if you are, following those. And I do think that's a law or regulation or something like that. But yeah, slower traffic's supposed to keep right. If there's slow traffic in the left lane, one, that's how car accidents happen. And two, um, yeah, I I feel like I would rather pass than tailgate. So
I get so irrationally irritated when slower drivers are in the left lane. Okay, so I fully understand that the cell phones of the world don't owe me anything. I'm sorry. You owe it to me. You owe it to the road, the other patrons of the road. If you are not keeping consistent with traffic, if you are not passing someone on the left, get in the right lane.
yeah, yeah, I live in the right lane.
There's even, listen, ODOT agrees with this. They even put up signs like those electrical signs or those like LED signs that say camping's for the KOA, not for the left-hand lane. It's like, I get over. And if I end up having, and I am not kidding you when I say I live my life every time that I'm in my car with the thought of like I can't pass in the right lane. That is not right. I have to wait for them to get over. I have to wait for them to get over because I cannot pass in the right lane. That is not how you pass.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Ridiculous. Or merge lanes. How do you feel about merge lanes?
I mean, they should be marked with a yield sign.
So you've got a through lane and a lane that merges into one lane. So
Yeah,
you're
so
driving.
I'm with you. Like going to Lancaster,
Yeah, that
the
one
straight
particularly.
yeah, the straight lane has the is it the right of way? The merge lane has to defer to you. I would say maintain speed in the straight lane.
So I have seen signs, and if they want to do it this way, then they need to put up a sign. That's all I'm saying. Where you zipper. Okay, so it's one car in, one car in, one car in, one car in, one car, you zipper effect. Okay, there is not a sign. The specific place that you are talking about, there is not a sign that says zipper. Okay, so
Sure.
if I'm in the through lane, buddy, back it up. You don't cut me off. Like I have such strong feelings about driving decorum.
That sign, for those of you wondering what sign is on the road.
That is the sign. Nowhere does it say use the zipper method. And I have seen signs that say use the zipper, like it's a zipper merge.
Sure.
And it bothers me so badly when, and like I've had people flip me off before because I haven't like let them in, and I'm like, it's not a race, ma'am. If we are racing and I'm in the through lane, you are second place. And I know
Sure.
that makes me feel like, I should have like compassion and, not be so entitled to this lane. But I'm like, no, I am entitled to this lane. I followed the sign. You, in fact, did not follow the sign. You knew the lane was ending. Why are you waiting until the arrow that now the lane has ended before you get over? Tell me. Let's get
I'm
out of the
with
car
you.
and have this conversation because I would love to know the thought process. You knew it was ending. I knew it was ending. Guess what? I got in the right lane.
I think for me, a lot of it goes back to the golden rule: do unto others that which you would have done unto you.
Right. And you certainly wouldn't want me racing you in the left hand merge lane and flipping you off just for you doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Sure.
That right hand lane didn't do anything wrong.
And it's been there. It hasn't changed.
It it really, I or people who don't wave. If I let you out in traffic, if you are in the gas station parking lot and I let you out, you better give me that wave. I want my wave.
Sure. Yeah. I'm with you. Or
I want my wave. I
yeah,
waved at a man yesterday with my middle finger and I didn't mean to. I was carrying things, right? And I'm like holding, I'm holding something and I'm like trying to wave to him, right? And I like inadvertently flipped him off. And then I'm like, I have to go drown myself now. Like I can't. So then of course I'm like, oh, sorry, 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 sorry. Sorry, the hands are full, It's like I want my wave. I want my
sure.
wave.
When people let me out, we'll talk about this sometime. Your former life as an American Sign Language interpreter, I learned a little bit of sign language for that too. Like if somebody lets me, thank you, and I do that all the
100%.
time. Yeah,
I love
as we
it.
should. Yeah,
And you know what? It's because you get my definition of decorum. You get it. You not the general you Aaron Miller get what I believe to be correct decorum. That is at the end of the day, that's it.
absolutely. And speaking of that being it, we are just about out of time here. It says less than a minute left on this. So if you are one of the people that's watching this and you would like to see more of this, be sure to like and subscribe and all those things that really YouTube people tell you to do. And pick it up with us here next time where me and my sister talk about anything but family. Colleen, have a good night. I
Bye.
love you.
Love
Yep.
you.
Yep. Love you. Bye.
Bye.